It's Will Harlow here, sciatica specialist physiotherapist from the UK who's behind Overcome Sciatica, and today I'm going to be answering the question, what are the 3 cornerstones behind successful sciatica relief treatment? Let's dive into it. The first cornerstone to a successful sciatica treatment is restoring the lost movement of your spine. When you've got sciatica, it's likely that your lower back is going to be extremely stiff. And when it gets stiff like that, it can't move as it once did. Now what this does is it signals to the brain that there's a problem in your back. And when your spine isn't moving correctly, your brain thinks there's a problem and it's going to perpetuate the process by locking everything up even tighter. That's often how people end up in a vicious circle, and it's why they get stuck with a stiff back. They're scared to move, they can't move properly, the sciatica and the back pain just stays there. So we need to break that cycle by releasing some of the structures in your back so you can move a bit better, everything feels freer, and it encourages the sciatica to get better too. The second cornerstone of a successful sciatica treatment is a proper stretching program. Now a stretching program will achieve 2 things. Number 1, it will help the muscles in your legs and in your back to work at their what we call optimum level. So they're the right length, they're able to activate, you're able to recruit the right number of muscle fibers for the task at hand, and everything just works more freely, okay? If you've got nice flexible muscles in your legs, it helps to do things like balance off the pelvis, it helps to free up the lower back so it can move better, and it helps all of your daily tasks to become that bit easier. Now, the second thing that a good stretching program does is it allows the nerve in the leg to move more freely and to become healthier. So when you've got tightness in your legs, like I said before, it can pull your pelvis in a funny direction, or it can pull the back out of kilter. And a lot of these changes will have the effect of compressing that sciatic nerve even more. A good stretching program will help you release the sciatic nerve, and it's one of the cornerstones of the treatments I recommend to my clients when they come and see me with sciatica. Now the last cornerstone of a successful treatment with sciatica to give you pain relief is doing everything you can to minimize inflammation. Now that means getting your diet right, it means sleeping better, it means drinking enough water, it means doing everything you can to avoid aggravating the problem that was there in the first place. Now, inflammation is a funny thing. It's not necessarily bad in and of itself, but when we have sciatica, often what's going on is there's a load of inflammatory chemicals around the nerve that are doing nothing but aggravating that nerve over and over and making the sciatica worse. Now, it's very difficult to treat inflammation in just one area. That's almost impossible. What you have to do is you have to work on reducing inflammation throughout the whole body. Now, one of the most effective ways to limit inflammation is by controlling the foods that we eat and making sure we're hydrated. The other things that affect inflammation are things like stress and things like sleep, which are very, very important to anyone who's trying to get better from sciatica. So if you get your diet right, like by using some of the information I provide in my diet plans, make sure you're hydrated, which even involves being strict, like having a timing schedule for when you have water each day, because let's face it, none of us really drink enough water each day. The other thing you need to do is make sure you're trying to get 8 hours. And I understand it's very difficult to sleep when you're in constant pain, which is why that's something I address in my programs too. And you also need to make sure you're limiting stress as best you can. So having mechanisms in place that you can sort of go and relax for a few hours after a hard day, or go and have a really nice gentle workout in the gym just to de-stress will go a huge way to reducing overall inflammation and helping you feel a bit better. So those are my 3 cornerstones of a successful sciatica treatment. I hope you found this video useful. As part of this series, I'm answering any of your questions to do with sciatica. So if you have a question, reach out to me on the email address that I'll leave below, or drop it in the comments, and I'll get right to it. If you enjoyed this video, check out the Total Recovery Program for sciatica. It's soon to be released, and when you're watching this, it may already be out. So I'll leave a link for that in the show notes underneath this video too. Have a great day, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video.